Hi, I'm Ben Cudon from Rivera Primo, here for another short class on our Pro Clutch. This particular Pro Clutch is strictly for shovel heads, pan heads, knuckleheads, basically from 1937 to about 1984. Anybody with that bike will recognize this little beauty here. This is the hub of the old style clutch. It's got studs, it's got a retainer that holds a bunch of little needle bearings, and on the back it's got the infamous friction liner. Now this clutch has a lot of problems. It makes it hard to get into neutral, hard to get out of neutral, and sometimes when you're at a red light, it just wants to take you clear through the red light. It's called creep. Even with the clutch pulled in as hard as you can, it's still engaging just slightly and it's pulling you through the light. That's because there's a lot of play in these needle bearings, and because of that, the clutches are kind of bouncing around and they're hitting this friction liner. And it's grabbing enough to pull you through that red light and make it hard to get in neutral, etc. The other problem is these studs, these friction plates that fit over the studs like so, it only moves about 1/8 of an inch. And after a while, because these are steel cores, it makes a little tiny groove in these studs. And these clutch plates and the steels hang up on the grooves. And it makes it hard to disengage the clutch. Well, all that is in the past because Rivera Primo, back about 20 years ago, came out with their first Pro Clutch for shovels, and it's based on the Evo style clutch, which uses a diaphragm spring and it has a sealed bearing in it. So we got rid of the loose needle bearings and the studs. We replaced the loose needle bearings with a double-rolled sealed bearing that slips into the basket. In the area that used to be used for the needle bearings, well, now you have this aluminum bearing carrier and bearing that goes in here. So even if that area is messed up, it's got grooves in it and so on and so forth, doesn't matter, because this does not turn in that area, only the bearing turns. And of course, the hub is in here, so the hub is just turning strictly on this bearing. And then to top that all off, we get rid of all these springs. Springs, as you know, coil springs are harder to pull in. The closer you get to coil bond, the harder it is to pull in. They're hard to adjust, a 32nd of an inch, a 13/16 at the release lever, etc., etc. You don't need that. So now we have a diaphragm spring, so you have even pressure all the way around on the pressure plate, which gives even pressure on the clutch pack, so it's easy to engage and disengage. No more creeping through the red light, no more hard to get out of neutral. We guarantee it. That is how good this clutch is. The Rivera Primo Pro Clutch for shovel heads, pan heads, knuckle heads. Rivera Primo Inc., the home of genuine Primo belt drives. Thanks.